Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector, and hope everybody out there is doing well, being safe, staying healthy, being smart. So today I'm going to do a video on a topic that I find extremely fascinating and interesting, and it'll be a fun topic to talk about. So about a week ago or so, I got an email from YouTube that said, "Congratulations, baseball collector, you can now have memberships on your channel." And I found that interesting. I started kind of looking into it. I'm like, what is this? What does this look like? What does this mean? And many of us have heard of Patreon before and other types of services where you basically support content creators by paying a monthly membership fee. And for that, you get some type of service, whether it's knowledge or perks or videos or extra, early access. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so YouTube, for several years now, has offered this membership thing in order to compete with Patreon and to provide that to their content creators where it's direct. So you don't really have to mess with two different things. You can just deal with YouTube and essentially receive the same type of benefit as a content creator, charging a monthly subscription service where people pay you to create content and all these things. So used to be it was 100,000 or more subscribers allowed you access to do this. And there was some number, I think it was 100,000, but you had to be a really large channel to be able to do that. Well, recently, again, within the last week, they've pretty much opened it up to all channels that are able to monetize. You can pretty much create these subscription services. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And several questions popped into my mind. First question, why would YouTube do this? And to me, it's quite simple. Really, it's money. It's all about money. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They're a company. Google is a company that needs to make money for their shareholders, of which I am one of them. So I want them to make a lot of money. So I'm not knocking YouTube for doing this, but I've been, over the last couple of months, certainly the last month, I've noticed that viewership overall, when I look at different videos, is kind of down in the community, which that in alone surprises me, because you would think with all this time on our hands, not being able to go to work or working from home and having a little more free time and not commuting and all these things, that we'd have more time to watch YouTube and therefore would be consuming more videos. And quite frankly, I don't think that's happening. I think that, and I don't know the reason why. I would speculate maybe it's because maybe people aren't buying as many cards and they've had to cut back on that, and therefore they're less interested in what's kind of going on YouTube. That's in the card community. That's possible. Don't really know. But viewership is definitely down. And another thing I've noticed is, look, I do monetize my channel. I'm not going to apologize for it. I do. To me, it's simple. I turned on, and if you don't want to watch the ads, don't watch the ads. But YouTube pays me to make content and do something that I love that I would do anyway, so why not? That's how I feel about monetization of a channel. I think if you want to do it, there's plenty of guys that I know that I respect that don't monetize their channels for a lot of reasons, and good for them. Personally, I do. But I've noticed that my revenue has gone down significantly, not just because of the views, but even on a per view basis. If you take your revenue you earn in a month, divide by the number of views, and you get basically a cost per click, a revenue per click. And that's down about half of what it normally is. And that's not surprising, given what's going on in the economy and around the world. I'm sure that there are advertisers all over the place going, look, where can we cut to cut costs? And they're going, we're going to cut our advertising budgets probably across all types of social media platforms, not just YouTube. And so there's less advertisers willing to pay less money in order to advertise on YouTube. Therefore, there's less revenue going to Google, and therefore less revenue that's being passed on to the content creators. Totally makes sense. So YouTube says, well, how can we, fill up the coffers again? Hey, let's offer this subscription service to ability to all content creators that have the ability to monetize their channel. And so that's it. To me, that's it. That just totally makes sense. And again, not knocking them for doing that. But now you've got this opportunity, and I've already seen another prompting for this video is seeing a couple of channels that I follow that have started offering a membership. I call it a membership. It is called a membership. You can literally click join and all that. It's not something I'm considering. But it's fascinating to see, like, you can pay a monthly fee. And to me, if you're going to pay a monthly fee, there's a couple reasons you might do that. Number one, you might just want to support that creator. I mean, that's completely within your right. I mean, look, I'm not pro or against this idea at all. I'm neither. I'm just trying to kind of talk through it because I think it's, again, fascinating and interesting. And so if you do it, great. If you're a content creator that wants to do that, knock yourself out. If you're a viewer, consumer of content that wants to support a channel that way or get something out of it, good for you. There's nothing wrong with any of this. I just find it a fun thing to talk about. So you pay a certain fee. And if you're a content creator, it's a great idea because you're going to create new revenue for your channel if you want to do that. And good on you. But if you're from a content creator standpoint, if you're going to do that, maybe you offer different tiers to give different level of perks. And those perks might range from early access to videos, a couple hours before they're released to the general public. Or you might have exclusive membership live streams. You might have videos that only members can see. You might do exclusive content. All these kinds of things are perks that you can provide to the people that subscribe to your channel, in terms of paying paid subscription versus just being a normal subscriber where you get all this stuff for free. So if you're a content creator, that's great. If you need that revenue or you want that revenue, that's cool. Remember, there's the other thing. YouTube takes 30%. Google takes 30%. So Google and YouTube, to me, are synonymous terms. Google is the parent company of YouTube. But they're taking almost a third of the money. So if you're $5 membership fee, you're only getting $3.50 of that. So in your pocket. So again, YouTube's doing pretty well with no matter how many people sign up for this thing or how many channels have it. It's no cost to them really to do it, and they get this extra revenue. So you're offering it as a channel. You've got to deal with what kind of perks do I want to offer? What kind of value do I want to provide to those members? Because they're paying for something. What are they really paying for? And are they getting value out of that? And then it becomes kind of like, and this is part of the reason that I don't necessarily think it's a thing for me. Now I feel like I'm obligated to do this. And YouTube is far from my job. It's a hobby. It's something fun. It's a way to share my collection and just show my stuff off to other collectors and interact through comments, etc., and make new friends. It's not a job. And to me, membership and monetization are two different things. You might be saying, well, Mike, you monetize your channel, but I don't have to do anything. I literally don't. I click a button, every video. It's not hard at all. That doesn't take any outside thought, wow, okay, if I'm going to provide these membership levels, what am I going to do for them to make it worth their hard-earned money? And so I've been seeing some of the perks and stuff, and it's relatively comical because I think, man, I could get all that for free. Why do I need to pay this guy? And again, the reason you might do that is A, you do just find them valuable as a content creator, or B, you just want to support them. Like, you just want to support a channel and support a content creator. Nothing at all wrong with that. That's great. So, but you have to think of all these things, and it becomes an obligation. Like, oh, I got to do these live chats. I've got to do these extra videos for them only, and all this kind of stuff. And to me, it's like the juice really isn't worth the squeeze, because it just seems like you get away from why you're doing it. And that leads to kind of if you're a content creator, there's kind of two real big, broad content creator categories to me. Number one, you've got the collectors, and then you've got the moneymaker people. And the moneymaker people can be box breakers, and if they're selling breaks and group break, stuff like that. People that are offering, subscription services and all kinds of stuff. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with those types of channels. And if you love those kind of channels, that's great. Awesome. That's what they're doing. That's what they're there for. And then you have kind of the collector guys that are literally I'm just a collector and I'm showing off my stuff and here you go. not trying to provide some other type of service in addition to just showing my cards or talking about the hobby or whatever. So you've got these two kind of things. For this type of channel, the money making type of channel, then that might make some sense to incorporate that into your business plan and use that. If you're a creator channel, it's like why would anybody pay me any money on a monthly basis to talk about anything? I mean, I'll do that already. And so it's I think there's two different things going on there, which again I just find fascinating. That's it. I just think it's very interesting. It's not a criticism of any way that you want to run your channel or however you want to consume content or help anybody out. I just think it's fun to talk about. So then you're a subscriber or a member and you're going, okay, I'm gonna pay a membership level. And this is true of Patreon, or that type of service, completely. It's all talking about really the same thing. If you're going to pay a subscription service for anything, what value am I getting back out of it? And so I think that's something that everybody should ask themselves if they're going to enroll for a membership tier for any channel, or whether it's Patreon or through YouTube or wherever. What am I getting out of it, and does it make sense? And I see a lot of times, mainly this happens like with Jabs Family and stuff. People have signed up for Jabs Family on the Patreon deal to get something back, and they don't find it worth it, and they drop it. I just see those videos more than I see, wow, I did this service and I found it to be incredibly valuable and it's awesome to be paying for this Patreon or paying for this. And so as a consumer of content or a supporter of a channel, just, are you getting value out of it? Yes or no? And again, it can just be just because I want to do it. It's $2 a month or whatever it is. Because I think and what's cool as a content creator, you can pick your levels of A, cost, and B, perks, at whatever. I think you can do as many levels I think as you want, but typically it's 1 or 3 or whatever, and you're paying these things and getting these certain levels of perks out of that. Just make sure the juice is worth the squeeze. Just make sure that the money that you're paying you're getting something that you feel is valuable out of it. So just the whole idea is interesting, and I've rambled on long enough about this. I would love to hear down below what you think about that idea, what you think about paying for memberships. Is it a good idea, a bad idea? Is it something you enjoy doing? Is it something you think provides value to your hobby life? Then, I'd love to hear it. I can totally see how that would be true. So I would love to get feedback on that and hear what everybody thinks about this issue in general. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. It's just whatever you kind of run with and how you want to run things for yourself. So please tell me. I'd love to hear it, good or bad. I'm kind of Switzerland on the whole thing. I'm neutral. I don't have a dog in the fight other than just curiosity and inquisitiveness. So thanks everybody for watching and staying with this. Hope you find it as interesting as I do, fascinating. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm sure you'll dislike the video, but that's all right. Thanks everybody. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of your week. Keep collecting.